Good eatings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the old school game snob, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at where to find the BER rune and the SUR rune. That is up to BER and up to SUR. Once you get into Jaw and Chom, you need to look into Act 4 of Hell difficulty, but we are going to be farming Act 3, and that is because there are two places in Act 3 that really can be considered the best places to find the Jaws and the BERs and the SURs, the Bursers. There are two possibilities here. Number one, you're playing single player, not on Battle.net, and if that's the case, you are going to want to head on over to Lower Kurost. What you're looking for is a bonfire with a bunch of torches around this in a nice little circle. Alright, the huts nearby are going to contain super chests. You may need to carry some keys with you. The super chests will have a very good chance, or at least a very fast acting chance, of dropping high runes. So basically what you do is you load up your inventory with keys and other such things, and you just keep making games. You know exactly where the huts are each time because, well, they're fixed on your map, right? And that's why this works for single player, but not as well on Battle.net, because on Battle.net you get random maps every time, and that slows things down quite a lot. So your map may contain one or two of these bonfires. Now, where did it go? There it is. It may contain one or two of these bonfires, not always two, sometimes just one. Now you might consider re-rolling your map if you only get a map with one bonfire, and the way to do that is to enter the game into a different difficulty, like Nightmare or Normal difficulty, and then come back again into Hell difficulty until you get two bonfires that are nice and close to your waypoint. Then you can just so quickly farm these and get your high runes that way. So let me show you the most viable way to do this, and we're just going to pretend that I have two huts on my map. Here's what we're going to do. Alright, Lower Kurost, you know exactly where to go, right? You know exactly where those bonfires are at, and they're nice and close to your waypoint. Alright, there's a Thor rune, right? So you hit your super chest, and then once you're done hitting both of your super chests, come back to the waypoint, just go to Pandemonium Fortress, and then you're good to log out. Come back into the game and do it again, and you will be right beside the waypoint. By comparison, if you are logging in the Kurost docks here on Act 3, if you just log out of the game without coming back to Pandemonium Fortress, as you can see, it takes about 10 seconds or so to get to the waypoint and execute your next run. Now, you could also just get some nice fast movement speed stuff like Mavina's Belt, some 40% movement stuff, and just like blaze through the trail, right? And run really fast and not worry about teleporting back to your waypoint. That would also probably be comparable. Oh, and one more thing. If you are playing single player, from what I understand, players 3-4 is the most optimal players if you're specifically going after high runes. If you're going after other items like skiller charms and various other things like that, you might want to do players 7-8. But if you're just going after high runes, as far as I know, players 3-4 is the most optimal player count to go after that. Statistically, your chances are, I think, about 1 in 65,000 every time you open a chest. And I think there's 6 chests. If you get 6 chests per run, assuming 2 bonfires, so you can kind of divide that by 6, maybe 1 in 10,000 chance of getting one of the high runes, either Vex, Ohm, Low, SUR, or BER. For every 10,000 runs you do, you might get one of those. Statistically, I'm not 100% sure if those numbers are entirely accurate, but hey, that's according to the best research I could do. I interrupt this video just to thank the 21,000 of you absolute rockstar Diablo 2 fans. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate the support. Okay, that's good for the single players, right? But if you're playing Battle.net, this may not be as viable because of randomization. Everything slows down a whole bunch. So let's talk about the next best spot. Okay, so these are the probabilities, and these are actually the best probabilities for the BER rune dropping. The SUR rune is a little bit easier even, but the BER rune, 1 in 80,000, SUR I think is like 1 in 50 or 60,000. These probabilities may not look good, but they're also about the best you're going to get. By comparison, even if you're farming bosses, well, Bale here has a 1 in 54,000 chance, so that's barely better than the super unique bosses found in Act 3. That is in Travancore. We have the council members, right? So all 3 of these guys have a good chance, comparatively speaking, by comparison to everything else. I mean, not good actually, mathematically, but good by comparison. So that's who we're going to be farming. Now, Magic Find does not affect your rune drop chance at all, so you can gear up to be maximum damage. Of course, farming the council can also drop a lot of other really good stuff too, so, you know, find your own balance. Here's what we're going to want to do in terms of farming the council and surviving, because these guys are tough. Know thee then that the council does both fire and lightning damage. For those reasons, you will want to be getting your lightning and your fire resistance up. Items such as Hellmouth Gauntlets are nice. They have a little fire absorb. That actually turns fire damage into healing, so if you get hit by Hydras, some of that will heal you. This is especially good for light amounts of rapid damage, so Hydras in particular, fire absorb, really nice. Alder's Battle Boots, also a really good option for getting your fire resistance up. There we are, our Alder's Battle Boots. For the most part, if you're playing the build that I'm going to suggest, which is a Blizzard Sorceress, and check out my guides if you want to see how this character is put together. She's really great. She does this run really well. The only problem she has is keeping that mercenary alive. You could potentially do this without a mercenary, but there is one cold immune council member which the mercenary can be very helpful at taking out. I have him equipped with the Reaper's Toll. This is really nice for that life steal. I also have him equipped with Kira's Guardian. This increases his resistances a lot. Getting his fire and lightning resistance up is really, really helpful. And then I have Treachery. You could also use Fortitude. So some gear like that, you could also use Bone Hew. Something nice and high. Reaper's Toll is really nice because it has that built-in life steal. And if you're using Kira's Guardian, then you don't have that life steal from something like Andariel's Visage or Telrasha's Horadric Crest. And this is, like I say, to get that lightning and fire resistance up and make him a little bit more survivable. He really has a hard time with the Hydras. So that is how I like to configure the mercenary, but if you wanted to, you could leave the mercenary at home and ignore the cold immune council member. But I find this works pretty well, so I'll show you how this goes. Yeah, so not only does the council have one of the best drop rates, they're also the easiest to find, right? So what I like to do is locate where they are, drop down a blizzard, teleport a screen away, let the blizzard do some of its work, come back, drop down another blizzard. What I'm doing is keeping my mercenary alive here mostly, because that blizzard's going to do its work really fast, but as you can see, that mercenary, man, when you get that amplified damage on top, he's gone, you know. that's the hard thing, is keeping that mercenary alive. So, you know, if you want to leave him at home and ignore the what's it called? Ignore the cold immune, you can do that. Oh, this has been a tough run so far. Okay, let's do another one. That one was about as bad as it can go. Alright, here we go again. Like I say, first step, locate the council, drop down that initial Whoa, what am I doing? Wrong place. Drop down an initial blizzard, kind of get out of the way. We're going to let the blizzard take out some of the council members, whilst at the same time keeping our mercenary alive. It's a lot of teleporting, right? But blizzard left on its own can do a lot of good work. By the time you come back, a lot of the council's already down. And let's see here. And like I say, these guys can drop a lot of really good loot too, in addition to runes. This run has been kind of medium. I've seen them go a lot faster. I've seen them go a little worse. Are these both immune? Wow, they're both immune to cold. Wow, what rotten luck. Okay. I suppose it's important to see the bad as well as the good, right? Anyway, let's try it again. Drop down that blizzard. Drop down another blizzard. Kind of get out of the way. Let the blizzard do its work. And the blizzard does its work so quickly and so fast, right? So try to keep that mercenary alive. It's just a lot of teleporting around, and that amplified damage really hurts. So, yeah, and these guys move so fast that, you know, you're really teleporting around quickly and kind of slowly taking them down as you drop blizzards and get out of the way. There we go. Oh, mostly gone. There's the last one. Torque Ice Fist with his cold immune that our mercenary is good enough to take down. Boom, 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 boom. Come on now. Here we go. Alright, all done. Okay, wasn't too bad that time. That's usually how the runs go. The first two were kind of the worst case example, but it's actually kind of not the worst. Gold Find Charm. Yeah, okay. Alright, so hey, that's the guide. That's where you go to find runes. And that is as seen from the perspective of a Blizzard Sorceress. You might find a better character to do this, like maybe a Whirlwind Barbarian. Or another thing you can do is set up a nice Gold Find Barbarian. I have a nice guide for a 200% Gold Find Barbarian. And of course then you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Your mercenary, of course, takes out the council members, and you can get your runes, and you can also get like lots and lots of gold for gambling up some nice rare amulets, rings, and tiaras, diadems, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's another option for you. Check out the guide. Like I say, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not that it's good to kill birds. I'm not condoning the killing of birds unless you're a cat, and even still, eat your cat food. It's got no birds in it, unless it does, unless it's some sort of organic hippie cat food. Then you just don't know. It might have birds in it. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Man, that's a lot of fire. Okay, I'm leaving.